What do we know, Mr. Ambassador, about those 4 observers?
Well, actually, Wolf, this team of 4 with their Ukrainian translator is the second team to go missing this week, or to be missing this week. There's another team that was picked up on Monday outside of Donetsk and has been missing now for 5 days. Then there were 11 who were picked up on Wednesday and later released that evening, and another 4 plus their translator last night. This is obviously unacceptable and outrageous that these international observers who are there to provide an impartial view of what's happening on the ground, to help facilitate de-escalation of conflict, who aren't taking sides in any way, that these international observers are being detained is really outrageous.
So basically what I hear you saying, there are 8 OSCE observers plus 1 translator who are now being held in captivity. Is that right?
Yes, in 2 separate groups, that's right.
And are any of them Americans?
None of those 2 groups is American.
Who took them? Do you know?
You know, the OSCE is working very hard on the ground. Obviously, the deputy head of the monitoring mission has traveled out to the east. They are working incredibly hard to try to contact those who are holding these people and try to facilitate their release. Obviously, we've been calling for their unconditional release and calling on all participating states in the OSCE to do everything that they can to help facilitate that release, to reach out. Certainly, these people, there's a lot of suspicious folks who have been crossing the border in recent weeks, and it's not clear who's holding them. It's just clear that they ought to be released.
The others, I think you mentioned 11 who were released. How did you get them out? Did you have to pay someone to get their freedom?
No, they were picked up driving on a road about 30 kilometers outside of Donetsk. They were taken back into town. The OSCE lost contact with them for several hours. They were later released and allowed to return to their hotel. So there was contact and discussion to facilitate that release. Obviously, you'll remember that a couple months ago or 6 weeks ago or so, there were these Vienna document military observers who were held for over a week in Slovyansk. They were eventually released, and certainly we hope that these 2 groups that remain in captivity are released too. There's just no excuse for taking impartial international monitors hostage.
The assumption being that pro-Russian separatists were involved in the abduction of these international monitors. Is there any evidence at all that Russia itself is involved in these kidnappings?
Like I said, the mission on the ground is working very hard to figure out who exactly is holding them and where exactly they are. At this point, we don't know. What we do know is that there have been a large number of reports in recent days, in particular of a new influx of foreign fighters crossing the border, of arms crossing the border. You know, all of this underscores the fact that the people of Donetsk and Luhansk, like the people of Crimea and the people of the rest of Ukraine, have a future to build together. Last weekend's election underscored the unity of Ukraine for the first time ever. The person who came first in the east also came first in the west. These people have a future to build together, and those who are sabotaging it, whether they come from inside of Ukraine or outside Ukraine, need to get out of the way.